Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to showcase a new deck for you guys that I've been working on for quite some time, and that deck is Branded Ninja. So Branded Ninja is a control-based strategy that still summons a bunch of fusion monsters to your board, but the combo lines are very simplified compared to a pure branded deck. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple FAQs. Number one, what is the synergy between branded and ninja? So the synergy is that branded locks you into fusion monsters. Ninja doesn't really care about that because its best plays are to summon Mazen, the Battle Ninja, or Yaguramaru. You can go Albion into double Mazen fairly easily, so that's pretty cool. You can go Branded Fusion, dump Tobari, resummon it with Kagero, reset it with Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mysteries. That's really cool. Branded Expulsion, contribute any fusion monster. So you contribute a used ninja fusion monster to summon back Hanzo to your field, summon back Yugioh to your field, get their effects off, summon something to your opponent's field, play around evenly matched. There's just a lot of synergies that you discover while playing this deck that are kind of just not super obvious, but do come up and really make the deck mesh together fairly well. Question number two that I'll probably be asked is, why would I play this over branded? Why would I play this over pure branded? So you would play this over pure branded. One, for budget reasons. This deck is very cheap. The most expensive card, I think, is probably Branded Opening in the whole deck. Another reason is if you like fusion summoning or you like branded, but you're not really into the full combo type of deck, you want to keep your line simple, kind of straightforward, but still summon out big fusion boss monsters. This deck is definitely for you because you're going to be summoning fusion monsters off of your branded stuff, off of your ninja stuff, and it's all very simple 1 to 2 effect combos that you can follow along pretty easily. So that's why you have played it over pure branded. It's not better than pure branded. Pure branded will definitely make a bigger board, make it more difficult to break, but this deck is a interesting alternative for budget players and for players that prefer a more control style of deck. The next question you might ask is, why would I play this over pure ninjas? You would play this over pure ninjas for the surprise factor, for the additional boss monsters off of the branded package, and then for the additional synergies and kind of more interesting lines of play. I think Ninja can get kind of stale. It's not going to change very much, but if you introduce the whole branded package, you can definitely mess around with your ratios a lot more. It introduces a lot more variability in your deck building and a lot more things to test. So we're going to go ahead and check out the deck list main and extra, and then I'll go through like 2 or 3 replays of the deck just to give you some kind of idea of what the boards can be. Main deck and extra deck, and then talk through a couple combos that are really the bread and butter of what this deck is trying to do. This is a 40 card list, and it's going to be kind of different ratios than what's standard for ninjas and branded. So let's go ahead and start with the monsters. So for the monsters, the main normal summon is Kagero, the Cannon Ninja. I'm going to talk through the main combo, but we really want to see Kagero in every starting hand. So we're playing 3 of that, and because of that, we're only playing 2 Hanzo. So we're just trying to limit the normal summons to 5, and Kagero is a little bit stronger than Hanzo in this particular deck. So we just have to make that adjustment. Don't automatically start a ninja list and throw 3 Hanzo in. It's not always the right answer. Next, we're going to be playing 2 Tobari, the Sky Ninja, which is a really strong card, but we don't really want to see it in our opening hand, but we do need to have some in deck to summon off of duplication and to send off branded fusion, as you guys will see. Then we're playing 2 Mitsu only, 2 Mitsu as well. We don't really need to see Mitsu plus Ninja in every opening hand, and we'll get to why in a little bit. And then 1 copy of Yugioh, the super strong summon from deck, Book of Moon 2, opponent's monsters. It's kind of incredible. So yeah, that's it for the ninja monster lineup. There was no room for green ninja. Unfortunately, there was no room for Baku. But if you guys want to try those out, please feel free and do so and let me know how it works out. And then the last couple monsters are going to be 2 copies of Fallen of Albaz plus 1 copy of Aluber. And we'll get to the other cards in a second to show you why. But that's going to be it for like the normal monster count. I do play some hand traps. I'll show you later on. Next, we're going to be looking at the branded cards. So we're playing 3 copies of Branded Fusion, 3 copies of Branded Opening, and then 1 copy of Branded Expulsion. So we just want to see Branded Fusion in our opening hand as usual, but we don't want to normal summon Aluber. So what we're hoping to do is either draw Branded Fusion or draw Opening to summon the Aluber to search Fusion. And if you get both, if you go Fusion and Opening, we're going to be searching Expulsion instead. Now we're not going to go for any like gimmick puppet lock or anything like that. What we are going to do is tribute our Fusion monster to summon back 2 ninjas from our graveyard, and that will like go plus on its own. Alternatively, you can just summon something to your opponent's field to play around evenly matched. That would be a nice thing about Green Ninja, is if you summon Green Ninja to your opponent's field and they like link it off, then Green Ninja will activate. You can book something, so that's kind of cool. But if you read Branded Expulsion, this is the coolest part, the coolest synergy here, is that it just tributes a fusion monster. It doesn't have to be an Albaz fusion. So you can tribute like a Maizen that's already used its effect. You can tribute a Yaguramaru that's already used its effect to summon back like Hanzo to your field or something like that to get some pluses. So it's just a cool synergy. That's it for the branded spells. Now let's move on to the ninja spells. So we're playing 3 Notebook. This card is insane for the deck. It's really good, especially with Branded Fusion. So Branded Fusion is going to be sending a ninja from your deck to the graveyard. So this will be live for its double set as soon as your opponent activates a card, which is really nice. Then we're just playing 2 Dancing Leaves and 1 Duplication. There was just not enough room to play 3 Dancing Leaves. You can search one pretty consistently, and you're only playing 2 Hanzo. It's not as important to search Dancing Leaves because you're going to be making Maizen turn 1. It's still an amazing card, and it was really hard to cut it to 2, but I just had to for space. And then Duplication, of course, is just a solid go-to. And then we're playing the 1 Iron Digger. It's just incredibly strong. I would love to play 2 of this. It's one of my favorite ninja cards, honestly. So that's it for the ninja spell traps. And then we're playing 1 Rhoda, 1 Instant Fusion, just for, because they're staples. Rhoda will search you your Kagero or your Hanzo, whatever you need, and then Instant Fusion just to summon the Yaguramaru straight from your extra deck. It's a really good going second card. Summon the Yaguramaru and banish an opponent's card, which is really sweet start to your turn. So, and then the rest is all going second card. So we're on 3 Imperm, 3 Ogre for the new format, of course. If you're still playing current form, like for post Cyberstorm Access, if you're still playing pre-Cyberstorm Access, you can switch these out for Veilers probably, or Nibs. And then we're on 3 Book of Moon because of its synergy with the ninja stuff. Remember, Dancing Leaves contribute a set monster on either side of the field. So if you can book their monster, then you contribute it with Dancing Leaves afterwards. So that's really nice. And then 2 copies of Talents to round it out for an even 40. So we're on 11 going second cards. 12 if you count Instant Fusion. That's going to be the main 40. Now let me go through the extra deck really quick. We're playing 3 copies of Maizen the Battle Ninja, of course, best ninja in the deck. 3 copies of Yaguramaru, still excellent. We're still going to be cranking this guy out. And then on to the Albaz stuff. So we're playing 1 Brigand, 1 Albion, 1 Rinbrum, 1 Lubellion, 1 Mirror Jade. And this is pretty much all we're going to need. Brigand is optional, but I feel like it's a pretty good, it comes up sometimes. So, we'll go through the main line in 1 second. Let me just finish this extra deck. Then we're playing 1 Saizo, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Unicorn, and 1 Boral Sword. Boral Sword for the OTK. You still will go into links. You won't have Branded Fusion every turn, and even if you have it turn 1, you won't have it turn 3 probably, so you'll be back into links. Saizo's really strong. Cross Sheep will get you up into Boral Sword. Boral Sword can do the OTK with Iron Digger and Maizen to attack directly, so still really strong. Still need to play the links even though we're a fusion deck. So the main play, if we open Branded Fusion going first, I'll just show the main combo that we're going for, and it's a very simple combo. I call it a combo, but like this is a control deck, so this is as combo-y as we get. But if we open Branded Fusion Kagero, which is the main thing we're trying to open in every hand. That's why we're playing 8 ways to get to Branded Fusion plus 3 Kagero plus a Rhoda. So it's fairly, you get it like half the time. Okay, so we're going to go Branded Fusion. Then we dump Albaz and Tobari to go into Rinbrum. And then we go normal summon Kagero, Kagero effect, revive the Tobari in defense mode, in face down defense. And then since we can contact fuse, we just do that for a Mazen. And right here is a ton of interruptions on our field that's layered. So Mazen can summon Yugioh from our deck. Rinbrum can bounce an extra deck monster and effect. And then when they out the Rinbrum, we still have Rinbrum Albaz in the graveyard. So in traditional branded decks, whenever you go into Rinbrum, you're probably clearing the Albaz after to make a Mirror Jade for follow-up. But just having Rinbrum Albaz in the graveyard is pretty insane. So it's just so much interruption. Albaz can come back and then summon one of the other guys. Yeah, this is just a ton of layers of interruption just off of 2 cards, and then you're going to have the rest of your like control-based deck for backup. So if you can Book of Moon with Yugioh 2 monsters, and then if they have to spend 2 more monsters to go into an extra deck monster and Rinbrum bounces that, you just win the game. It's just very strong and very hard to play around as the opponent. And then there's a couple other synergies that I'm also not playing. For example, if we go Hanzo can search Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation, which tributes Hanzo and an opponent's monsters to summon a dragon out of the deck. And then you can go into Albaz and discard 1 and further clear boards. It just wasn't coming up for me. I would usually rather search Dancing Leaves or Duplication every other time. So I decided to cut Super Transformation, but that's also a cool synergy. For Brigrind, a play you can do, this would come up like turn 3 probably, is you can go Branded Fusion, send Albaz and Yugioh, and that will summon your Brigrind from your deck. And then you also have to have Iron Digger, but Iron Digger can equip itself to an opponent's monster, banish Yugioh to pop it, and then Yugioh will summon back to Book of Moon 2 monsters. So that's also an interesting synergy, and that's why I'm playing Brigrind in the extra. And then, of course, like what's currently going unsaid right now is that you can just Branded Fusion into Albion into Mirror Jade and still be like totally fine. And Mirror Jade can then send Rinbrum for effect to banish. Just Mirror Jade is a very strong card. Yeah, this is the deck that I've been working on. There's still a lot to experiment with. We could play Nadir Servant, send Albion to set Expulsion to have that more consistently. We can play different going second cards. Right now I'm on Book, Imperm, Ogre, and Talents, but we can definitely change that up. We could try to increase the speed of this deck a little bit by playing more extenders, but I'm not really sure what that would get us. We could play the Ultimate Grade Insect Fusion card for Mitsu, but that's just not really coming up very much because we're only playing 2 Mitsu. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think of this build. And we're going to show a replay really quick as well, just to see how it performs. Oh, one more synergy as well. For turn 3, this kind of didn't cross my mind initially, but Albion, we can go Branded Fusion into Albion by dumping Ogre and Albaz. And then Albion can banish 2 ninjas from the graveyard to summon Mazen. So if we had 2 ninjas on field, we can make 1 Mazen, then Branded Fusion into Albion, and then go into a second Mazen. And then if we, for some reason, have Iron Digger, that's 8k direct. That's not too often, but we can go into the Ninja Fusions through Albion, which is actually kind of strong. We can also go into them through Lubellion by shuffling them back into the deck. So if we want to use Yugioh a second time or something like that, or we have a duplication ready to go, we can put our small ninjas back into the deck with Lubellion so that we can summon a bunch out off of duplication. So there's just a lot of like hidden synergies that come up when you're playing that you don't really think about until they like hit you. So definitely give this deck a go, give it a try, and it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. Okay, let's check out a couple replays just to see what the deck can do a little bit. We're going to start with the one versus Mana Dome. So in this one, I went first. I opened Branded Fusion Kagero. I was still on Super Transformation and Prosperity. I decided to cut Prosperity just in favor of Branded opening because I liked it a little bit more. But yeah, we opened Rinbrum and Mazen, and then we set all 3 traps. So we're in pretty good business. And then they're doing Mana Dome things here. And pretty much the first thing I want to do is wait for them to get 2 monsters on board and then summon the Yugioh. And that's exactly what I do. I Book of Moon both. But then they have this Rium Heart who can summon itself. So he's going to clear one of his monsters. And then I go for dupe into Tobari, Hanzo, and Mitsu. Negate one with Mitsu. I'm just like, I don't really know what Mana Dome does, so I just threw all of my interruptions out at once. And then I go into Yaguramaru to banish the Visa Starfrost. I'm trying to keep him off of tuners because I know they synchro summon. So he clears that. That's fine. I get Notebook, which is nice. I set Yugioh and Equip Spell. Equip Spell, I equip it to Rinbrum to attack direct. But I think I miscalced here. So, yeah, and then I transformation into Albaz, and I'm just clearing as many cards as I can here. And he unfortunately draws Troll for turn. So that was a cool illustration of just how many interruptions I got off of Branded Fusion plus Kagero. And then the duplication was like the rest of the interruptions. So this was not even necessary. I didn't even need to use the Imperm. I never even used the Rinbrum. So basically the ninja cards did all the work, but I still had Rinbrum as backup. So it was a very solid board. Let's do a couple more. So this one was me into a standard branded board. Or branded deck. He's playing Super Poly, unfortunately. So here I open Branded Fusion plus Kagero. I go into my preferred board and I have Dancing Leaves plus Imperm. He Super Polys my ass into Dragostapelia and then goes Branded Fusion into Albion. Albion to make Rinbrum, and then I can Rinbrum here with my Aluber. But he negates, and then I negate with the Imperm. So I am able to go into Mirror Jade off of that. I Mirror Jade banish the Lubellion there. And he just has a little bit too much gas at the moment. He has Beast and Banishment and Baldrake. There's just not much I can do, unfortunately, into that. So I'm just trying to show that even against the higher tier decks, it's a little problem. But I mean, granted, they had Super Poly for my whole board. So what am I gonna do? And then this one is against Blue Eyes. Now this is a little like lower tier quality competition, but I just wanted to show off one of the synergies that came up that led me to gaming him. So yeah, I pretty much brick here. I go to Bari plus Mitsu, set Book and Prosperity just for bluff. So I pretty much only have one negate and one book here. Easily negate the one that had discards for cost. And then Tabari, you can, of course, go into Yaguramaru here for a banish, which I do. Banish that, and then he can summon a Blue Eyes, so whatever. Still not drawing very well, but that's fine. I can summon back the Tobari with the Equip spell. And then I go for Mitsu again. So I have another negate. I book his guy because he's got 0 defense, and I can swing over with Mitsu, and that's great. And then he draws for turn. Of course, trade in with the Blue Eyes, which is nice. And then he's kind of in business. I negate that just to keep him on minimal cards. And then I'm going to fuse here into Mazen. He draws into some big guys. That's cool. He's got Levy, and I go for Mazen here, and then I just go to book his monsters. and that's fine with me. And he has Linkuriboh. So here, this is the play that I was thinking of. So I go into Albion, and then I go Albion, banish 2 more ninjas, and go for Mazen. I clear the Linkuriboh so that I can just attack directly with the rest for game. And that was it. So like booking his monsters and then just attacking direct is kind of just a really cool feature that Ninjas has, where, you know, if you're playing branded, sometimes it's hard to clear boards, but with the ninjas involved, you can just swing direct, which is pretty sweet. And that kind of like makes me almost want to play Masquerade just to have to do less direct damage. So I'm gonna actually look into that, like going for like double Masquerade plus some ninja stuff. That'd be pretty sweet. So that's the next thing I'm gonna try. Good idea, guys. All right, so that's it for the replays. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this list. It's been a lot of fun playing it, and I want to know what you guys think and see if you guys can build upon that, because I think it's going very well. And we'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know when it'll be. As I said, I'm moving, currently in the process of moving, so we'll see what happens. We'll see you guys.